Tonight, we report on the reasons behind the closure of Soap Lake schools and how a Washington State Patrol trooper was struck by a car. What's happening in sports, Bob?
In sports, today was media day for the upcoming Super Bowl between the Seattle Seahawks and Denver Broncos. Stay tuned to find out what Russell Wilson had to say about the big game. I'm hearing about the possibility of snow falling in eastern Washington. Will we see any of the white stuff in the Columbia Basin tonight?
And from the Weather Department, we'll take a look at what could be a very, very messy start to your Wednesday morning. All the details coming up.
We have all this and much more on iFIBER 1 News.
From the iFIBER 1 HD studio here in the heart of the Columbia Basin, this is iFIBER 1 News. Your #1 source for local news, sports headlines, and our very own Weather Center forecast covering the entire Columbia Basin. This is iFIBER 1 News, and it starts now.
A 16-year-old boy expressed his anger towards his grandmother, students, and the principal of Soap Lake High School, and he was arrested and the schools were closed today. Here is reporter Jeff Chu with the story.
Soap Lake schools Tuesday morning were unusually quiet after the school board closed them because of threats. The board decided in executive session Monday night to shut schools after a student told a counselor last week that he was angry and wanted to hurt students, a principal, and family that made him mad. The Soap Lake police arrested the 16-year-old last Thursday for felony harassment, and he was released on Monday into his parents' custody. That incident led the board to close the schools. School Board President Jerry Bissett made the announcement Monday night after the board went into a half-hour executive session with Soap Lake School Superintendent Danny McDonald and high school principal Rick Winters.
The administration is going to cancel school tomorrow, and then we will issue a statement to the press.
Bissett declined to comment further Monday night. Soap Lake Police Chief Glenn Quant said on Tuesday his department was now in discussions with the school district about tightening security at the schools. Lake Police and school district administrators are looking at putting an officer in the schools. The police chief said he was concerned about the student being released without an electronic tracking device to keep law enforcement informed of the teenager's location. I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
Thank you, Jeff. A Washington State Patrol trooper was struck by a passing motorist in Moses Lake late Monday night and received minor injuries. Trooper Jeremy Weber, a 40-year-old officer from Ritzville, was outside of his patrol car during a vehicle stop near the intersection of West Broadway Avenue and Gumwood Street in Moses Lake at about 10 p.m. Mary Callahan Bartley, a 53-year-old woman from Reno, reportedly struck the trooper with her silver 2003 Ford Taurus while she was driving in the right lane. According to the Washington State Patrol, she allegedly failed to stop after striking the trooper and was later stopped by law enforcement. Weber was checked at the scene for minor injuries and released. Callahan Bartley was arrested for DUI, hit and run, and reckless endangerment. Grant County is still trying to determine the costs to get rid of wood shavings used as livestock bedding at the Grant County Fairgrounds. Fairgrounds manager Jerry Gingrich said he expected to finish a plan to dispose of the shavings before the State Department of Ecology's February 7th deadline. The state set the deadline in a notice of correction issued to the county after a fire started spontaneously in a pile of livestock bedding in October. The fire started in a 150-foot-long pile of wood chips in the southeast corner of the parking lot near the intersection of North Paxson Drive and West Valley Road on October 23rd. Gingrich said they are looking at recycling the shavings, spreading them thinner to avoid fire, or having a company dispose of them.
Each of the people you see here has warrants for their arrest and is wanted by various law enforcement agencies. If you see any of these people, the Department of Corrections asks that you do not attempt to detain or apprehend them, but to call police. You can also call the Department of Corrections at 509-764-6180 during the day or 509-762-1160 after 5 p.m.
We'll be right back after this.
DQ $5 lunch. I'm really into it. One thing I can't decide. Is it chicken strips, fries, and a drink with a free sundae? Or do you get a sundae with free chicken strips, fries, and a drink? Trick question. Both answers are correct.
Exactly, Sam. It's Fananomics. Entree, fries, drink, plus a sundae. The $5 lunch, only at your DQ. This is fan food, not fast food.
Good food, cold beer, and plenty of entertainment. That's what Sporty Steakhouse is all about. Open 6 a.m. every day. We offer over 100 reasonably priced menu items with 24 different ice-cold beers on tap and a wide variety of spirits. Come in with your favorite group, watch the game on our big screen TV, shoot pool, play shuffleboard, and more. We have live music and DJs, so find us on Facebook for upcoming events. Located on East Broadway Avenue in Moses Lake. Sporty Steakhouse, where good friends meet.
Hi there, everybody. Meteorologist Don Morelli with you here on iFIBER Channel 1 News. Your weather forecast is brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota Dealers. Toyota, let's go places. It's been a while, but finally some winter weather has come on back for a possibility of creating a very, very slippery time overnight tonight through Wednesday morning. So the winter mess returns. It'll try to warm up as the precipitation ends on Wednesday. But some lingering precipitation will last into Thursday as we continue a little unsettled, at least into Thursday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday looks pretty nice, actually, with seasonal temperatures. Another significant storm, maybe by Monday, Tuesday next week. Let's take a look back at the day, why don't we? 33 and 30 the extremes, all due to some clouds, of course, keeping us gray much of the day, and therefore not much in the extremes from the high to the low. 38 is normally the high. And again, we'll be seeing more seasonal temperatures as we slide into the weekend. 32 and 31, again, no major difference. Again, the clouds keeping us pretty much status quo in Moses Lake. Now, as we take a look outside right now, 32 degrees, right at that freezing mark. So anything that's falling, of course, is creating some problems. We have some light precipitation moving on in, out to our west especially. Dew point of 25, so we have a little bit of a drop that could still occur. And of course, we are looking at the precipitation increasing from west to east. So you get the picture. Possibility of freezing rain, freezing drizzle in some areas, especially west and south. Could see a little significant, 1/10 of an inch maybe, so very slippery. Elsewhere, maybe 1 inch or 2 inches of snow possibly before this is all said and done with. Let's go through the motion overnight tonight. Again, here comes the slug of water, and again, by morning, oh man, is it coming down in some areas, at least the forecast is for this. But watch how quick it really falls apart. See how we get the shadow effect during the mid to late morning hours, and by afternoon, most of the precipitation over, and we'll try to warm it up into the upper 30s to lower 40s, even some breaks. But Thursday, even some lingering precipitation see around the area. It really isn't until Friday till we start seeing a little bit of a drying trend to take place, a good drying trend. In the meantime, the Cascades West is looking pretty unsettled, of course, on our upcoming Wednesday, mid to high 40s, if not near 50. Quite a bit of snow for you ski lovers to our north and northeast. As we slide into the Columbia Basin, here we go again. The morning hours, just again, prepare for a drive time that could be pretty slow going. But by afternoon, the drive time home, you can see temperatures well above freezing, which means a lot of melting going on, which is good news. But again, it's the first half of the day that could be very, very treacherous. After the mess, we brighten skies Friday, Saturday, Sunday, a little bit below normal, and then we're watching another storm. Boy, old man Winter doesn't want to let go, does he? Well, keep it here. Sports is next. Again, your forecast brought to you by Bud Cleary Toyota Dealers.
It's a fact. Toyota offers 10 different vehicles with available 4 or all-wheel drive. So when you need to drive in challenging conditions, we have your answer with great limited time savings, including the new 2014 Tundra. Choose from excellent cash back savings, a low payment lease, or special financing as low as 2.9%. Tundra, ready to take you down winter's toughest roads. Discover Toyota's 4 and all-wheel drives for yourself. Visit any of your Inland Empire Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places.
At Moses Lake Community Health Center, we have had the privilege to serve the local communities since 1978.
What I like about working at this clinic more than any other clinic that I've worked at is the patient care. With the patient care team that we've assembled, it allows us to take care of as many facets of the patient and their family's needs.
Please take the opportunity to experience the high-quality care provided at our clinics.
Welcome Welcome back. I'm Bob Kirkpatrick with today's sports. It was media day for Sunday's Super Bowl game between the Seahawks and the Broncos. Seattle Russell Wilson said it was no fluke. He and the Hawks are about to perform on the world's biggest stage.
In terms of my faith, that's the number one thing in my life, and to be here on this stage, only my second year, it's a tremendous blessing, a tremendous honor, and I'm so grateful every day. Every morning I wake up, my goal is to try to be the best one day, and it's a blessing to be here and to just be able to play the game of football, just to be able to run and have the legs to run and have the arm to throw and the hands to grip a football and to be the mind to be able to think and process things. I give all the glory to him. Yeah, I definitely expected to be here. I believe in my talent. I believe in everything that I've been given. I expect to play at a high level, and I expect to be, fighting for a Super Bowl every year. That's kind of our mindset, and that's our team. That's we want to have a championship mindset, and our goal is to go 1-0. I put all the hard work in, and I expect great things when I put the hard work in. And like I always say, that separates in the preparation, and I'm excited to be here.
This is Seattle's second trip to the Super Bowl in franchise history. Odds makers have installed Denver as a 2-point favorite. The over-under for the game is 47 points. Seahawks wide receiver Percy Harvin says he's absolutely playing in the Super Bowl after a season filled with frustrating health issues. Harvin says he feels good and has no restrictions. He missed the first 10 games of the season after needing hip surgery and played sparingly when he returned because of complications. Harvin came back for the playoffs but hit his head on the turf in Seattle's win over New Orleans. He says being able to play in the Super Bowl means everything to him. Football players at Northwestern are spearheading the formation of a first-of-its-kind union for college athletes. Outgoing Wildcats quarterback Kane Coulter joined union leaders Tuesday in Chicago to announce the creation of the College Athletes Players Association. He says the NCAA currently dictates conditions and that athletes need a seat at the table to guarantee safeguards against injuries and to ensure adequate financial compensation. The first step is to apply for certification by the National Labor Relations Board on behalf of Northwestern football players. The hope is to be successful, then look toward other schools. Union Steelworkers official Tim Waters spoke alongside Coulter. He says the key issue is whether college football players are employees. He says if they are deemed employees, they have the right to organize. Well, that's it for sports. We'll be right back after this.
Did you know that Little Chiefs Childcare is expanding their Juniper Street location? This great new place across from Moses Lake Clinic is designed just for preschool and school-aged children. For over 8 years, Little Chiefs kids like me have found the love and attention every child needs to be healthy and happy. The grown-ups there have gone to college, so they know how to make sure kids from 1 month to 12 years old have a great place to learn and play. Come join our growing Little Chiefs tribe.
Hello, my name is Cheryl Kono. I am your local iFIBER Farmers Insurance Agent. Here at Cheryl Kono Insurance Agency, our customers always come first. We don't just work here, we live here. Please stop by the office, call, email, or Facebook me for a free auto, home, life, business, or farm and ranch quote today. We are insurance. We are farmers. Come in for a free quote today.
We are farmers. Bum, ba-dum, bum, 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 bum.
Our spotlight story tonight is about the Emergency Preparedness Fair planned for Saturday in Quincy. Reporter Jeff Chu has the story.
Those wanting to prepare in the event of an emergency or natural disaster will have a chance to learn more about it on Saturday in Quincy. The annual Emergency Preparedness Fair will have more than 50 vendors and government agencies represented. It goes on from 4 to 8 p.m. at the Quincy Community Center, 115 F Street Southwest. Vendors will largely focus on how to stock up on food and supplies and create your own energy sources in the event of an extended power blackout, according to LaDawn Reynolds, event organizer in Quincy. It's a free event and open to anyone 14 years and older.
We started it with our women's organization and just trying to prepare the younger women, and we were young at the time as well, and trying to teach preparedness and how to take care of ourselves. And then it got larger and larger to where we were bringing in Red Cross and FEMA and the National Weather Organization as our weather has changed.
Reynolds, a dairy farmer, says keeping a year's supply of food and household items, even alternative energy sources, is also known as provident living. It is not just something practiced by the Mormon Church, she says. She has been organizing the Quincy Emergency Preparedness Fair for 11 years, in which she has seen it grown from 100 participants to 250. She also has experience organizing such events in Warden and Othello.
Just several years ago, we had that windstorm come through and totally destroyed our dairy, knocked out all the trees, all the power. And people from Road 5 clear to Crescent Bar and north had no power for up to 7 days on some of those families. And then unemployment fears, the strikes that can happen that can stop food into our grocery stores. I think the fear is real.
Mickey Yates, from a wheat farming family in Quincy, keeps a year's supply in her home storage room and root cellar. She will be one of the vendors at the fair, focusing on dry packing, a canning process.
I grew up on a farm in Moses Lake. My mother was a canner, and we always had a food supply. You can get snowed in the winter and different times. Farming isn't the most lucrative at times, so you have to gather in the supplies when you have them for bad times. So I was raised with always having a good amount of food supply around.
A Quincy single mother of two who asked not to be identified for security reasons and declined to appear on camera talked about why she is preparing for the worst.
I am concerned about disaster, but I think it's probably not as much of a threat as hyperinflation and just instability in general with the markets. And so I think it's just a hedge of protection to have some food.
I'm Jeff Chu for iFIBER 1 News.
We will be right back after this.
6 years ago, my dad began having issues with headaches, sore throats, and constant fatigue. He tried treating the problem with over-the-counter medications and lots of caffeine. Finally, he talked to his doctor, who confirmed our suspicions. Dad had sleep apnea. He didn't like the idea of using a CPAP, but after trying it one night, he was convinced. We found everything he needs for a much better quality of life at In-Home Medical.
Let's go back to where better ingredients, better pizza first began.
Road trip. Wow, 1984.
Let's celebrate.
Celebrate 30 years of Papa John's. Get a large one-topping pizza for just 30 cents when you buy any large pizza at regular menu price.
30-cent pizza. Now that's pretty cool.
This is what's cool.
No, that's just wrong. Stick to better ingredients.
Better pizza?
Papa John's.
Papa John's.
Please.
In Northwest news, a Wenatchee High School teacher and coach who was fired over a student drowning will be reinstated. A Chelan Superior Court judge ruled yesterday the district and school administrators contributed to the situation that led to the November 2011 drowning of freshman Antonio Reyes in the school pool. The Wenatchee World reports the judge ordered Ed Kneggs reinstated with back pay. Kneggs was fired after the district said he failed to properly assess the student's swimming abilities. Reyes did not know how to swim. Judge Leslie Allen blamed the district for putting Kneggs in the position of being a lifeguard, swim tester, swim teacher, and fitness instructor for classes of 2 to 3 dozen students. The district settled a wrongful death lawsuit with the Reyes family in 2012 for $2 million. A meeting for a substance abuse program was suddenly interrupted when a car smashed through the wall. Reporter Caitlin Lukaitis reports police are still trying to figure out how and why a man drove his car into a Department of Correction building in Pocatello, Idaho.
The car was stopped right there where all that oil is.
Just before 5:30 Sunday night, Department of Correction District Manager Tony Campa got a call someone had driven into the building.
Immediately, I asked those same questions if anybody, how serious was, were injuries, and like I say, we had a staff member that was pretty shaken up.
12 people were in the room that night attending a parole-mandated substance abuse training.
One of the offenders was pinned underneath the car. The other offenders were able to lift the car to get him out before the police arrived.
And one staff member was pinned against the wall.
The car came in through this area right here. Normally there's 2 big windows right here in this area.
So the car hit so hard, I'm actually standing right now in the door frame that was actually located right back there. Chairs once in one calm circle, now scattered across the floor, shards of glass everywhere. One night of therapy turned into a nightmare.
Everybody kept their wits about them, and you know, everybody just, you know, reacted, you know, really positively, and were able to get together, work together as a team to make sure everybody was safe and okay.
And that's going to do it for us here at iFIBER 1 News. We want to thank you for watching. We'll see you again tomorrow.